Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Precious and this is my solo book review. Yes, I read Midnight Sun and I read it like a month or two ago, maybe no, last month. I read a month ago and I want to just say thank you, Stephenie Meyer, for finally releasing Midnight Sun. We've been waiting over a decade for this book because even as we read Twilight Saga, we always knew that this was going to come out and existed, and then you didn't publish it, but it's finally out and I'm grateful to finally close the chapter on Twilight. This is Twilight, but in Edward Cullen's version, as you already know. I want to say that I did like it for nostalgic reasons. I liked just walking down memory lane. I loved going back to Forks. I loved meeting the characters once again. Esme, Charlie, Carlisle, Alice, Emmett, Rosalie. I enjoyed meeting them again, as well as Edward and Bella. Now, the only issues that I had with this book was that I didn't believe that it needed to be over 700 pages long. And it really did drag for me because, especially if you've read the books before, and let me tell you girls and guys, I read these books multiple times. So, you know, I've had my run. I've had my Twilight run. I read them first when I was a teenager. I read them again like my early 20s when the movies came out, and I still love them. And I always wanted to read this book, and that's why I picked up Midnight Sun. Now, I want to say this, that I did enjoy the interactions that we had with the characters. People like Alice and Esme. I loved the relationship between Esme and Edward. I loved the close bond between Edward and Carlisle, and the very normal sibling relationship that Edward had with his sisters and his brothers, because they were really good, and I love seeing how close Emmett and Edward are. What I did not enjoy about this book was, first of all, the length. This did not need to be 700 pages long, but I kind of get it. It fits with Edward Cullen's personality because he goes on these tangents in his mind, just trying to make decisions, you know, just trying to like be ahead of the game in terms of, you know, getting Bella's attention, getting a feel of people around them. You know, he is like the alert system for his family, so we understand that he would have a lot of, obviously we all think a lot, but like in book form it was kind of very boring. It was very boring. We've read Twilight before, and I feel like Twilight did a good job in encompassing the entire story, and this is just ice cream on the top if you're deciding whether you want to read it or not. If you've read Twilight, I think that's more than enough, but curiosity probably is the reason that you'll actually pick this up, and it was the reason for me as well. What I did not like as well was the way that Edward interacted or thought about the other characters in the school, especially the other students. He saw them as children. He saw them as kids, which was weird because he's attracted to one of them, who is Bella Swan, who is a kid and actually a teenager, and he is over 100 years old. So that was kind of weird, creepy, and it took me aback. I did not, and it's so weird because as I was reading this, and I was like, this was not an idea that popped into my head when I first read this as a teenager. So it's kind of weird that this, you know, is sold to teenagers. And back then, I'm sure there were no trigger warnings, and there should have been. And I get it's fantasy and it's paranormal romance, but you know, it is kind of weird. Bella simply accepting things the way they are, kind of weird, but also it's her character. She just sort of goes with the flow, and again, understandable. But when you read it as an adult, you're like, I would ask more questions. I would ask more questions. And I loved the exploration of the little tidbits we had about the other characters, like Rosalie, like Emmett, about their pasts. I love those. I thought we were going to get final full backstory on where Alice actually comes from. That was a dud because it was open-ended. It was open-ended. We don't really know who Alice is still, and that bummed me out because Alice was my favorite character. I think I didn't notice her in the first books, but in New Moon, that's where I noticed her and realized she's one of my favorite characters. Yeah, so those kind of things they put a conclusion on. Okay, Alice's one was open-ended, and we just got more of the family dynamic of the Cullens, and that was pretty interesting and also heartwarming because I really loved the bonds between Esme, Carlisle, and Edward, and also the sibling relationships between the siblings, the brothers and the sisters. I like that. So in conclusion, I just want to say this, that I did enjoy this. It was like just curiosity, simple curiosity. I had always wanted to know about Edward, the thoughts that Edward had. I didn't know that we were gonna get so many and so much. Oh my gosh, it was like reading somebody's diary. It was kind of a lot, and there wasn't a lot of action. Yeah, we know Twilight, like, it's closer to the end when James and whatever, but I would have loved to, you know, a little bit more side story, things that we never saw in Twilight. That would have been nice. I don't know, but I enjoyed this for what it was. A walk down memory lane. I think I gave it like 2 stars on Goodreads. Again, thank you, Stephenie Meyer, for releasing this. It's like, my teen years are over. Yeah, yay. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. Teen Precious, 2009 Precious is really happy about this.